Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us today on the Southside Experience episode 4. Oh wow, 4. We've done 4 of these already, or we're about to do 4. I am your host, Stefan Delgado. To the right of me, I have Zach Bivens. How you doing, Zach?
Good, man. Good to be here.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us. And then after that, I have Hector. How you doing, Hector?
Stressful week, but we're here, baby.
All right. And you sound great on the mic too. Glad we were able to work out those kinks beforehand.
Hell yeah.
All right. And then I have my co-host Kylie. How you doing, Kylie?
I'm good. Happy to be here.
Wonderful. And last but not least, we have Devin. How are you doing?
Recovering
Recovering from what? Do you want to talk about it?
Not really.
Not really. Fine. We'll go ahead and skip that part then. Awesome. Well, glad to have you guys on today. Kind of an exciting day today, right? We have some good news, some not such good news, and there's a lot to talk about. I guess, before we start, I will say that this is a show where we will definitely be talking about what was officially presented, and definitely not was or what not what was not presented, if I said that correctly. Sorry, it's been a long day. So we will definitely be reflecting on what was shared about the Disney Arcana World, the date that was announced, and some other details about that. But that's kind of where we're going to be keeping it today. We'll be more than happy to talk about other topics once they're officially announced next week on our podcast. So if you're here for that, tune in next week. All right. With that being said, I do want to roll into our sponsor segment really quick. And our sponsor is no other than Southside Gaming. Southside Gaming is your premier place to play Disney Lorcana, Yu-Gi-Oh!, One Piece, Magic, and more. Whether it's singles or sealed product, you can find it here at Southside. And if you're into great community and competitive gameplay, definitely check out our locals if you are in the area. All right. Okay, so our first segment that we're going to probably talk about today, let's get into one of the more heavier topics, which is the official announcement of Disney Lorcana Worlds, which will be happening in Disney World. Those dates were, I believe, July. Zach, you know them. When were those dates?
It was June 24th, I believe.
28th, 29th, I think.
Yeah, it's like the very last weekend of June.
Very last weekend. Got it. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. And while it's definitely great to hear that that's when the dates are. Unfortunately, only one of us on this show will be attending, unfortunately. But we're happy to definitely cheer Zach on as he takes he puts on a great show with 28 other Illumineers, right?
We'll definitely we may not be able to
27 other. 28 total.
28 total. Okay, right.
We'll
So
definitely
28.
be there, though. We'll be in the area.
All right. Sounds awesome, Devin.
We'll be riding rides while Zach's beating face.
Awesome. Yeah. So so we have that coming up. I guess we'll go around the table kind of what our thoughts are. Hector, let's start on you. What do you feel about the approach for Disney Lorcana Worlds?
I mean, to be honest, it's a little poor. I feel like we waited this long. I mean, the last major event I went to was Continentals on January 6th, right? And they're doing an announcement 5 months later, and they announced that now we can't even go. It feels like we've been looking forward to this. We've known that that it was going to be at Disney World, so we were all excited. Our friend group and all, we were going to take the kids. We're going to go to the park, make like a nice little vacation out of it. And they just dropped the bomb, and they're like, well, it's only for the competitive. Kind of sucks because now we got Zach on the team, and we wanted to go support him, right? So now I have to show up with like a poster board and just chill in the parking lot, and just hang around there, right? Like if I'm going to a football game, right? We're gonna be tailgating if it's allowed, we're gonna be tailgating at the Disney Hotel parking lot. But I was looking forward to going, hopefully playing some side events or hanging out and playing some some competitive Lorcana, man. So I was a little disappointed.
Yeah, tailgate sounds great. Probably not out in the direct heat, but maybe we can go to like the Lime Garage or something, second floor.
Yeah, bring a little TV and just watch
I-
the stream from the garage, right?
We do it from the hotel.
That just sparks a opportunity, right? I don't want to say it live right now, but I have some cool ideas that I feel like we could execute for that weekend. I really do. So
Oh, we'll take
Definitely something to look forward to. We'll definitely have to figure
I'll
that
put
out.
it in the
because-
chat so you guys can see it. How about that?
Oh, he's cooking, bro. He's cooking.
Debbie the chef. All right. Well, what about you, Kylie? What are your thoughts?
It definitely is disappointing that it's been like 4 or 5 months kind of dry spell where we haven't been able to do any large events, but I definitely think that Ravensburgers, they're doing the best that they can, right? They're doing what they planned on doing, and I don't think the goal was to like let everybody down, right? I think that there's obvious logistical reasons or other reasons that like there aren't side events and people aren't able to attend, whether that's shared with us or not. But I think that everybody has to just, again, it's like we talked about last week, they have to be patient, and they're gonna like turn it around, right? I mean, it's a brand new card game, right? We talked about it today. They don't do pre-releases. They don't have in-store regionals. They don't have online large events yet. Like there's so much of a market that other card games have done that they haven't tapped into. And I don't think that they don't intend to tap into those things. I think it's just that they have to take their time because they want you to really enjoy this game, and I don't think they want to rush anything, right? I don't think, like, what's the benefit if we just get rushed events, rushed play kits, rushed pre-releases, right? Then it just diminishes like what they've built. So I think, like, for anybody out there that's like teetering, and I've seen people talking about going back to other games, I would say just hold on. The game is very good. Ravensburger deeply cares about the community, and I think that after Worlds, right? I think that this next week announcement is going to be good, but I think after the announcements at Worlds, everybody's going to be like on the Lorcana train again. I mean, it's going to be like walking down Main Street, USA. Every single person will be like, "Yeah, get me in there." Like, I'm back. Like, you'll start to see locals like skyrocket again. You'll start to see all that stuff it'll just be like right back to normal. But I think like it's in a little slump period. And my thing is just, everybody just hold out, and it's going to be better than it was before.
Damn, a slump period, but it's been 5 months, man. That's a pretty long. You call that a vacation?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
let's not forget, as Kylie said, it's a brand new game, right? Like, with the fact that they didn't, again, going back to the whole fact that they didn't believe that it was going to blow up as much as they did, making a decision on something of their first Worlds, I think it gives that exclusivity. And along with, hey, if someone wants to attend, get your invite, right? But also on top of it, it's the first Worlds that they're having. So maybe in their mind, they're like, you know what? Let's do this as a great way of marketing. Let's allow the players who made it to Worlds for the first time get to an experience that won't happen ever again, right? So, that's my input on it. I think that it's the first time. I think that we give them a little Ravensburger some slack.
no, yeah, I agree 100%.
I mean, we got to take into consideration. It could also be Disney, right? Like, they probably want to do 1,000 things for the game to make it better, but they have to run everything by Disney. So maybe Disney was like putting a stop to some of these things, right? So that could be it as well. But you know how we are, right? We're starving for news. Thank God next week we're going to be getting that live stream sharing everything, because people are already starting to feel, like moving on to other games. I've seen some of like the top players considering trying other games, and That just kind of sucks, right? To lose the community.
No, yeah, 100%. Like even our locals yesterday only had 4 players, and I actually had planned to teach a new player how to play. And you know, I had to tell him like he wanted to get into the game, and I had to tell him like, hey, you know, this is not a normal Tuesday here, right? Like we normally have like 20 plus players here on a Tuesday and the same thing on a Friday. You know, but I said like, you know, we have a big tournament this weekend, and you know, I kind of explained things to him, and I was honest about it. He still really liked the game, he still really wants to play the game. But you know, it is hard to see it dwindle, right? It is hard to see, you know, a thriving tournament of 20 go to 12, go to 6.
But do you not to
Or-
cut you off? But do you think that has everything to do with the game state, or do you think it has everything to do with what we're doing at the store, marketing, prize support, getting players excited, right? So you know that's the way I look at it too. It's you know I know you guys may be you know the more competitive players, you know, are waiting for the announcement for Worlds, but I don't think that's the entire player base. You know, I think, in my opinion, we're responsible for the reason why our locals were how many people yesterday?
4.
Yeah, I blame that on us. I don't blame that on the game state.
Well, I mean, you got to take into consideration that this is, since we have that big tournament this weekend, and also this is the first weekend where set champs start, right? So, like the game is shown every single time the weekend of set champ starts. Like people tend to hold back because they're probably gonna, you know, camp out on the weekend, go back to back Saturdays, Sundays to go play at these set champs. So that could be a big factor too. Think about that.
Yeah, I mean that definitely makes sense. You know, I do recall talking to my wife when set champs were starting. She's like, "Oh, so you're gonna go play Lorcana 3 nights this week?" And I said, let's meet in the middle for 2. How does that sound? And you get that. So yeah, I think that might have a little bit to do with it, but you know, like to kind of point out something that we saw that was interesting, and you know, we'll segue into a quick little ad during this conversation just to kind of show some alignment. Set champs this weekend, we have 5 stores across Saturday and Sunday that are doing set champs, and we checked their signups and they're low, like below 8.
0.
Like
something.
should possibly might not fire, which, you know, it's so, it's just weird. I don't think I've ever experienced this before with previous set champs. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, the set champs from the, you know, Into the Inklands was like, you know, probably one of the hot. We'll probably never experience that again. You know, Ursul's Return, pretty strong. And then Shimmering Skies, you know, it became a lot easier to get the prize card, and the mats were too. So like now I'm interested in seeing the dynamic now that we have the non-foil hero, and then for the participation, then you have the foil hero for top 8, but you only have 1 champion mat. So that dynamic is kind of interesting.
But do you think the entries are low because of that, or do you think it's because, like, for example, what will that those prize cards and those mats be worth?
Not much.
Not
Exactly.
much, yeah.
So my thing is that, okay, as a player, outside of getting experience, what incentive do I have to go to these set champs if there's that many spread across that many days, right? Like, you know, before, I think it was a newer game, and on top of that, I think it was because, okay, I want to go, you know, get some of these prizes, farm them out. Hopefully, there's some value there. But if there's no value there, there's no different than a local, right? In my opinion, because
Yeah.
if there's it's supply and demand, right? So like if you have a high supply of all, you know, there's an immense amount of these you know, so-called rewards. If I could just go buy it, and I'm a collector, I'm gonna go buy it. You know, time is money, right? So that's just my thing on that. It's like there's no, what other incentive do you have going to a store champ outside of getting that, right? And I'm not saying that's a Ravensburger problem, but I just think that that's why a lot of players are, in my opinion, aren't signing up for that.
Well, I
Rather-
think it is one of their problems. I think too. I mean, if you think about it, the choice, like somebody said in the chat,
Mhm.
somebody said, to be fair, this is the least playable, least desired set champ promo to date, right? and that has a big thing to it, right? If you're putting a card that's not desirable, or it's not a card that is even playable, right? That you could even consider, like some players will go and say, damn, this card is pretty and I want to use it in my deck. Let's go try to win one, right? As a card that you're never going to play, it feels pretty bad. Also, I think when they did change the times before they would give like a time frame within like 2-3 weeks, right? Where you can schedule it anywhere. But now they just want you to do it on weekends. So every single shop is like scheduling on top of each other because they don't talk to each other to get it better. And what's happening now this weekend, we got 5 in one day. So the numbers are going to be spread thin, right? So that makes it kind of bad.
I think it's 5 in 2 days, right? It's Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 across 2 days. But
But
I think Devin brings up a really good point about the desirability of a card, right? So like Stitch Rockstar, in comparison to the other ones, probably one of the more desirable ones. The Ursula, the Sea Witch Queen, it while at its time was a pretty playable card and kind of had a little bit of a resurgence before the most recent set, Arcasia's Island, came out. You know, no one's really done anything with the Mirabelle, right? Devin, if there's anybody in this chat, it's probably you who's tried to work on Hero.
Yeah, the biggest hater was there, Hector. Hector hated on that card. It'd be so much. Stop playing the junk.
So the thing is, Devin, if you think about it, if you would have figured Hero out, the turnouts might have been better.
Well, how about this? Give Zach the deck and give Hector the deck, and they can figure it out for us. Just go win it.
All right, let's go.
Listen, one of y'all just win it.
Yeah, I think though. I think you guys are right. Like, I think there were clear choices like for better cards when, we can go back to like Shooting Skies, right? First set that had Wreck-It Ralph, like a Vanellope or something like that. Like sometimes a playable card is good, but sometimes like a super popular collectible character like Stitch is really good. And I think like when you introduce like something like, hey, here's Wreck-It Ralph, why not do a Wreck-It Ralph set champs, right? Like, and then I also think there's a bad problem when you take an enchanted that already has an enchanted, or a card that already has an enchanted, and then you give it another technical enchanted, right? So Hero had one, and then they gave him another one. And like you look at this set, and like Lady and the Tramp came in, and oh my god, Lady and the Tramp, Lady didn't get an enchanted, so that there would have been I think a better pick.
Sick.
So yeah, like there's a better pick, like and they could even get cute with it and make it match the Tramp enchanted. So
yeah,
like
that's actually not a bad idea.
Pairs with the one that's actually in the set. But I think like, I don't think for Azurite Seas we should have seen like a Maui Shark, right? I don't think we needed to flood with the Shark, but was that the first set that Big Hero 6 was in? Maybe
Big Hero 6 was in Azurite Sea, yeah.
So boom, there you go. Like maybe let's do Big Hero 6 Enchanted then when the hype is on it. You know what I mean? And like, I just feel like there were a lot of cool cards they could have picked, and I think that they definitely wanted to do dual ink, right? Like that was the thing. But I think my pick would have been Lady. I don't know about you guys, but I would have done a Lady, the yellow green Lady, make a cool enchanted.
I know Jack would have loved Lady to be the set. He would have grinded every single one.
But that's the thing, is like they have to like cater to the collectors, cater to the competitive players. They have to kind of like balance it out, right? Like maybe one time throw a super playable card, right? Throw Maui Shark at people as a promo. Hector would have gone crazy. Like
maybe not Maui Shark, but you could possibly, who knows, pick a card from like an older set and make an alternate art of it, like an enchanted version of it, or something that I never got, right? Just so it appeals to collectors. But then also, like Devin said, now you're diluting the pile, right? Now everybody gets a non-foil for just entering. The first 40 people that enter get one, and then you get one in top 8. It's just, you just keep adding and adding, and then taking like the good price for like the mat, right? So now, like Devin said, if time is money, right? You don't even have to go and play. You go buy the promo, and then all right, I'm going home. Because you spend 8-9 hours there for what?
I'll be honest with you.
Oh, you're not wrong.
not even that. I see someone, if I'm playing against someone and they pull out a set champs mat, that doesn't do anything for me. I'm sitting there like, I look at them. Okay. Right?
Yeah, it's not the
Like,
same. It's not the
it's
same
not
as
the same.
back in the day. Like when
It's not like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Like-
Imagine you wearing Yu-Gi-Oh with a UDS mat. That's different, right?
yeah, but at least if you can see somebody with a Stitch champion mat, like that's different, right? Like that, those were the hard-earned ones, right? And then maybe even the second set, the first few
What
sets,
made them hard?
that it was only first of all, it was only top 4 to get the prize, right? So these tournaments were a lot bigger
Uh-huh.
compared to back then, and you got to get first to get it.
They've declined since then. Like every single one it's like literally just going down attendance. I think even like PPG, Devin. I think you went to PPG last time for theirs. I think what was it, like 9 people at theirs?
Oh, it was tiny. I was actually really surprised. You know,
Yeah,
the
I mean-
reason why I say that is because PPG is known for hosting major events. You know, not just Lorcana, but major events. So the fact that they only had 9, you know, I just took it as, oh, maybe Lorcana is just, you know, new, but I don't know. I
Yeah,
said,
2
if
events
it
day, that
was
was
like, if it was like, oh, I got to go there to farm points, right? And with those points, I'm able to, you know, get an entry into X. Then that's different. I feel like there's more value there because it's, you know, it may not be tangible, but at least, you know, people are going to attend because they're fighting for a chance to play in like a bigger event, right? Like similar to Pokemon, you know, or even, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh. Where it is really, really fascinating and cool to get, you know, exclusive prizes and product. But I think if you have the combination of 2, it would be a little different, you know, or do like a giant card or something. That'd be cool where it could be like a one piece.
Giant cards would be cool.
That'd
Like
be dope.
giant chances.
Yeah. Or like, you know, I know you guys don't like the pins, but I know like, you know, there's a lot of major pin collectors for just
Whoa,
Disney
whoa!
stuff.
Who doesn't like the pin? I love the pins.
Devin has every pin, bro.
See,
Not
that's
every
fine.
pin.
So
I
do
am
I.
Or,
missing.
I don't know, or like maybe get like an invite to like exclusive like Disney like event or like a theme park night, right? That'd be really cool. I don't know. I think there's so much cool things you could do.
Let me
Or
show
like their
you.
backpacks, like their backpacks. I don't know if anyone seen those news. I think I don't know if it's Disney if they license their IP out to someone else, but those backpacks that are, you know what I'm talking about, Kylie?
Yeah. No,
I
yeah.
think
No, you're right. Something a little unique. I think like one thing they really should do, and maybe Zach can talk on this,
Yeah.
like in-store qualifiers for
talking about
NES.
the pins.
That'd be dope. Man, don't get me in the pin game,
You
bro.
gotta put 'em-
Those are late. Don't show
That's
me.
crazy, Hector. You're missing
Don't
one.
Hold on, wait. Let's show you, but oh, not me.
Ooh, look
There
at
we go.
You got the pins, every single one except this new set, the nationals, like all the.
Hector,
We're
you're
gonna-
you're cool.
We're gonna keep collecting them.
Let me get that Hades.
Where'd you get that frame? That
How much
frame's
that Hades
sick. I
worth?
need that frame, bro.
How much is that
Um,
Hades?
Amazon, like I think it's like $12.
How much is that Hades?
Oh.
one?
Well, they all minimum $10. The Hades, I'm not selling it.
You want a Hades? I'll get you one, Devin. Who's Itachi Uchiha, bro? Who is that?
Alright.
They know what's up.
Or you know what they should do? Maybe even serialize some of these cards. I don't know.
Serialized cards would actually be kind of cool.
Yeah, well, that could lean in like I was saying to Zach.
Hey,
with the-
Ravensburger fans come out to us, right, Kylie? So we could just get our, you know, we come to a Southside event. You get the Enchanted, but you get the Cherry Blossom in the background.
Cherry Blossom card, bro.
That'd be dope. Come on, Ravensburger, come on. You know,
Yeah, awesome. So I don't want to go off too off the rails. We kind of jumped into the set champs conversation. But I did want to talk about another event that is coming up this weekend, and that's actually our Merlin 10K. Here we have at Southside Gaming. Spots are still open. We've decided to forego the late entry fee, so it is still $60. Definitely get your chance to get a shot at a prize pool of $10,000 for the first day, or if you're into something very interesting, we are hosting a high stakes 5K event on Sunday, as well as a 1K. So definitely a couple different events. You're more than welcome to come sign up, join, play some amazing games. Last week we did share some of the additional prizing that we were going to be offering, which will be mats that were done in partnership between our very own Raymond Rivera, who's done our art for our mats now, and Mattified, who does the foiling for them. And in this event, we are piloting a new program where you are able to, if you get paired into a sponsored SSG member and you 2-0 them, you get to take their bounty mat, which is a really awesome mat done by Matified, that it has a combination of Madam Mim Fox and Merlin Rabbit.
You gonna show it to him, bro? Show him.
I can definitely do that. Let me, you know what? It's worth. Let me do that. I'm gonna throw you
Yeah,
guys.
listen, you guys, with all due respect, that mat is fire, bro.
Yo.
I love this mat.
Yo, Mill, who you think you taking that mat from this time, bro? You say it right now in the chat. Who you taking it from?
Let's see.
You taking it from Zach? You taking it from Hector? You taking it from Ray? You taking it from Jack? You taking it from me?
There it goes.
Who you taking it from?
I'm literally not playing that event just so I can keep it.
That's not how that works.
No. If you don't play, we gotta throw
I'm
somebody else in the
playing.
mix, bro.
I'm playing.
I'm
Yo,
coming for all your mats.
Yeah.
Fire
I'm
mat.
keeping
Yeah,
mine
so what
and I'm
happens,
taking
wait,
yours.
hold on. What happens when an SSG player plays another one? Do
Then
they
I'm
oh,
taking your mat.
You're both.
That's it.
And then that person who they beat has to sign it.
Hector, you getting called out, bro, in the chat, bro. You're gonna get 2-0'd, bro.
Oh, I see. Yeah, of course, bro. I give away these prizes, bro. That's how it is. Me and Mill, I think we're 1-1. He beat me this last one, and then I think I played him when he was playing Amber Steel, possibly, in a tournament before that. If it's the same person that I'm thinking of.
It probably is. Yeah, he was playing Amber Steel. He got me that day. Yeah, that.
You didn't lose to Amber still, did you? As a
Ugh.
red blue
No,
player.
not that day. No.
Yes,
Okay,
it would
that'd
tell
be
him.
embarrassing.
No, Mill. The Freedom Gaming guys, they don't have a bounty mat this time around. But maybe for the next one. Maybe for the next one we might do something. Maybe we'll have one, they'll have one. You know, we'll see how it goes over with people. We'll see how people like it and if people can even take them this time, you know.
Yeah.
There's no Hiram this time to help steal some games away. So
Yeah. And with that, the community feedback is really valuable to us. So if you guys really like these bounty mats or have some of your own ideas, definitely share them with us. If you compare our events to some other ones, you know that, or you've seen, we've probably have been one of the most forthcoming event providers in doing these great ideas. So yeah, definitely share any ideas if you have them. And if there's something that Southside can do, there's a good chance that we'll do it. And if Devin hears you, it'll probably be better than what you've suggested.
yeah. If you're like, we're gonna do this, Devin's gonna like amplify that times 5.
Yeah,
Okay, I have to hold on before we continue. The Diz dude is very confident on social media that he is coming to collect mats, and I had to call him out over here because, like, he got one mat last time, and now he's here to get the rest of them.
trying to see who this is. Was I there for this dude?
He made
Trying to see. I can't see his picture.
hold on.
Let's blow him up.
Dude.
Come on, center stage. Just put the lights on this dude.
Revenge versus Zach. Oh boy.
Zach, what did you do to this man? bro?
Yeah.
What did you do to him, bro? He's coming for you.
Oh, he was playing.
I mean, I just
That's
2-0'd him.
all,
That's
bro.
it.
That is
That's all. Just an easy 2-0.
I think I played him also at.
no
Wait till
way.
I
I
can't
think I
wait.
played him
for
also at one of the tournaments. He was playing red purple, I believe, the first time we played.
Yeah, no, that's right. I remember.
He was on Still Song, and I got him with
the Emerald
with the purple still.
Sapphire deck. He made top 8 at our last event. Oh, Justin. Oh, I can't believe I haven't put the two together. Oh, Justin is such a cool dude. I am looking forward.
I
to
want to
having
see a
him come
picture,
down.
Justin. I need to see if I
All right,
know
let
him.
me see if I could do like a web source in this.
Somebody who wants to see my toes as a bounty. Don't know who that is, but that's kind of.
I can tell you that. It's probably David.
No, keep those things away.
Dogs in the
Dogs,
kitchen.
keep the dogs away, bro.
Oh, that is funny.
Yo, Hector. So who do you think's giving up a mat round 1?
Round 1, probably me.
All right.
I'll throw
who's
my name
gonna-
in the fire out
Who's
there.
gonna hold it the longest?
I don't know.
There we go.
Bro, I'm gonna collect all y'all's
That's
mats.
true.
I'm gonna be
Just-
playing on a
wow.
stack of 4 mats.
Awesome. Say hi, Justin.
There he is. This dude
He's,
himself.
he's coming for the mats. Watch out. If you're paired against him, game over. Game over. Awesome. And yeah, just to shout out to Justin and a couple of friends started an amazing podcast name, by the way, Between Two Turns.
Yo, that's like the show Between Two Ferns, right?
That exactly. Yeah, that was a playoff of that. So if you get a chance to I think I watched the first 2 episodes already. Really great stuff. Funny story. Like trying to put everything together. I realized that one of the hosts on there beat me out of contention in DLC Seattle with Yellow Green, and that felt super bad. I don't know if he can remember that match or if he's even watching, but that was he ended my run in Seattle for day 2. So thanks for that.
Shout out to Alvarado. You keep saying you're gonna make it. I can't wait to see you here.
Yeah, Dakota, that's his name. Justin, tell Dakota I said hello. Awesome. But yeah, if you haven't signed up, definitely sign up, join us. It's going to be a great time. And you know, we're going to definitely follow up. And I think we've already announced it too. There's no surprise. We're definitely going to be having a Reign of Jafar release event May 31st. I'll have the Melee link sign up available. Let's see, Thursday. If I haven't done it tomorrow, I'll have it by Friday. But we'll make sure to share some additional details. We're gonna try something new with the pricing this time. Kind of keep things interesting. And well, Kylie, actually, you know what? Do you feel? I think we can share it now, right?
Nah.
Not yet.
Let him wait for it, bro.
Let him wait for it. All right.
Let it cook, bro. Let it cook.
Let it cook. All right. Awesome. Well, definitely keep tuned for announcements regarding that, but definitely save the date, May 31st for sure. If you're interested in joining another one of our amazing, this will be our 3rd release tournament, and those are always really fun because we make the set legal the day of, right? You know, a lot of people are like, you know, oh, it's new set, but you know, that's where a lot of the creativity starts, right? And we establish really strong decks in the beginning of the meta, and just it's super awesome. I think, you know, it's a good playing field to see like what cards are great additions versus some that can stand the test of time. So and this will be the last set. You know, we had before we move into the already announced Fable set, which will definitely bring a lot of interesting things that we'll be looking forward to hearing some more about on May 6th. So, but yeah, so we have that to look forward to, and then we'll go ahead and segue into our next segment, which I think is really important. Whether you're doing one of our premier events, right, with the upcoming Merlin 10K, or you know, something as big as the DLC Worlds, right? What do you do? Like, how do you prepare? How do you get in the right mental state when it comes to that type of competition? Even, you know, set champs. A lot of people have different goals when it comes to the competition with Disney Lorcana, and you know, I think anxiety plays a huge part, no matter what level you're playing at. So I kind of want to get an idea, you know, from you guys. Maybe let's start with Kylie. Let's start with you. You know, how do you prepare for a big event? You know, when it comes to deck ideas or the night before, like what are you eating beforehand? Like how do you stay locked in for an all day event?
You really want to know? You want to know the truth of it?
Keep the PG, my boy.
No, nothing bad. As far as food, as far as food, I don't eat breakfast in the morning. I go in on an empty stomach because I don't want to, you know, I don't want to go to the bathroom or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like round 2, like be like, dang, I'm trying to get in one of these bathrooms. But as far as the list is concerned, and Hector can attest, I just asked Hector, I'm like, all right, what's the list? Hector he ships me a list. I put it together. I run some games. I'll play test with Devin. I'll play test with, you know, some of the other players on the squad, and then that's it. I just jam it in, and I just hope for the best. And Hector can attest to that. He's like, bro. I'm like, bro, what's the list? Come on, what's the sauce?
You're like, you have a pretty high percentage of topping when you do that. So if it works for you, right? Don't change what's not broken.
Yeah.
What about you, Hector? What is your regimen? What do you do when you're preparing for a big event?
Well, first I pick a deck that I'm comfortable with. I believe a deck that you have the most reps with. That's the starting point. I don't like to flip flop and switch around decks last minute because I'm more prone to misplaying and giving my opponent chances to capitalize on my mistakes. So I pick a deck, I fine tune it. I guess I'll fine tune it a little bit based on the meta where we're going. If it's like a more local event, like where we play at SSG, we kind of know a little bit of the meta, right? So we have to respect those decks. If it's more of a DLC, then I'll go with more of a general build with a few techs on the side because the field is a lot bigger. And then just regular things like rest. The night before, you should already know your list by then. I don't play test much the night before because you don't want to drain yourself out, right? Because these tournaments are going to be super long. So rest is important. And from there is keep a good mental state, check up on yourself, like hydrate and check up on yourself throughout the tournament because an early loss could set you on tilt, which can lose you the whole event just from one loss. So you gotta, keep a good mind state throughout the whole tournament while feeding, eating some food, and definitely helps. That's about it.
Awesome. And then what about you, Zach?
Yeah, this is something I could talk about like forever. As far as like regimen and stuff goes, definitely sleep. You're much better off getting more hours of sleep than playtesting a couple more games. Frank Karsten said it best when he said, I've never won more rounds in a tournament than I had hours of sleep at night. So sleep is insanely important. And I completely disagree with everyone that says not eat. Like, that's something I've heard a lot of Lorcana players say. And I think you absolutely should eat in the morning. You should be eating throughout the day, like protein bars or something. Don't go into it empty, in my opinion. As far as like decks and stuff, I feel like I can play any deck. So it's kind of like reading the meta at that time for that. Like if you went into this tournament 2 weeks ago, Jafar wouldn't be on your radar. You wouldn't be worried about Blurple. So you just kind of have to adapt to the meta and look at what the recent trends are. So yeah, that's as far as deck goes. And then I just think the mental thing's important too. If you lose a game, it's not a big deal, man. Like I always tell myself there's going to be another tournament. There's another round. There's another tournament. So like in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't even matter. So just staying positive and yeah. I could talk forever on it, so I'll stop there.
We definitely appreciate your insight. I think one thing I kind of want to touch on, which I think I can speak for myself when it comes to it, is being versatile with different decks, right? So, like, if you know me, whether it's on a personal level or, semi-personal. I mean, if you see, like, I've played the same deck at every DLC, play the same deck for pretty much all locals. I think the only time I ever switched was to Emerald Steel. And that was for set champs for Ursula because it was just it was such an easy, Emerald Steel discard with Bucky was such an easy deck to play. And just kind of felt kind of dirty winning one of the set champs with it, but that's a story for another day. But like, how do you navigate through different decks? Like I feel like, for example, Amber Steel Songs is a very different deck in how it accomplishes wins versus a lot of other decks, right? So like, I'll give you guys a perfect example. 2 weeks ago, I had built Hector's winning list from CCS, right? Just to kind of understand the play style of Red Blue, right? And, even though I'm not particularly a fan of that play style, it's good to understand how that deck wins, but also understand its most weakest points to exploit that as the opponent. And that's kind of has been my approach, is like finding out the weakest points of the match so that way I know when I'm the attacking or I'm the one driving tempo in that match when to maximize that effect. So maybe if you could share with a couple of us, like, you know, how you navigate, like, you know, you seem pretty confident with Amber Steel, Purple Steel. You know, what is it like to switch to a deck that you're not comfortable with, and how do you work learning it at that angle?
Yeah, there's a lot to be said for being comfortable with the deck, for sure. It honestly comes down to how much time you put into it. Like, I play every single deck, even though I've never played red blue at a tournament. Like, I've played it hundreds, 1,000 games probably with red blue. I'm probably never going to play that at a tournament, but I know exactly how to play it. So it's like you said, I know the tension points where I can exploit it, my win condition, and my role in the matchup. So yeah, there's that. It basically just comes down to playing every deck, and there's a lot of different ways you can test. But if you test with a purpose instead of just going online and jamming random games, like if you actually sit down and play a specific matchup 20 times in a row, now you know that, instead of playing 20 games online and then you don't know what you're going to be playing against or the quality of opponent. So I think it comes down to how much time you put
testing
into
with
it.
a
Really.
purpose. I got to remember that, because that totally, like, you can definitely go brain dead and, like, just like you said, just jam games, but for what purpose, right? You know, you're going to sing wheel
Yep.
on 4, right? You know, you're going to do this and at that point you're just playing against the odds in which you have a better hand or better draws than your opponent does, versus, like, you know, what happens if I don't? I have the cards to do, you know, sing wheel and play out a hand. You know, let's try what happens when I don't do it. And now my opponent thinks I don't have it, and then they hold back, you know, and I think it's really neat. I like that.
It's very, I'm gonna cut you off, but it's very similar to like professional sports, right? So you got, you know, there's a lot of people that like playing street ball, right? Whether it's football, basketball, baseball, right? And what separates, you know, the freestyle versus a professional team is that there's film, there's you know, every single team, whether it's defense, offense, special team, lineman, receiver, they all have a purpose when they go in practice, right? And it's broken into segments. But one of the biggest things that a lot of these professional teams do in sport is they'll emulate the defense and offensive schemes that the other team that they're preparing to face, they do that, right? This way, the way Zach just said it is so they can see that, you know, how do you exploit them, right? See their weaknesses, but how else do it better than being in their shoes? You get what I'm saying? So I think that's exactly what separates, you know, the talent and the preparation of someone like Zach, like a Hector, versus, you know, any other teams. You get what I'm saying? Or the regular player. So I think that's like what you just said, Zach, was like the sauce for a lot of people, right? And I think that it could literally help improve someone's game tremendously. I don't know about the certain percentage, but just by practicing that, I guarantee it can improve someone's game like that. But
Super awesome. I love it.
Something
And I
I
didn't
would-
even have to pay for someone's Modify to get that. My favorite.
I'm gonna add something that, I mean, it's not traditional. Before, what I would do is I think it's called Ink Table. Even though it's kind of, you're playing against like an AI. What I would do is I would just set the deck that I wanted to play against while using my deck, right? And I'll play on the draw against a deck like 15, 20 times just to see their hands, how they will do certain things, and just how it will play out of it. Right. Just to test just a little bit, even more when I don't have time to do like live games on websites or whatever. I would just play against the AI, put a random aggro deck that I know what they're gonna do, or a deck that I want to see hands against, and I would just get data from that, right, to see if it works out for me or not. I would do that a couple times a week when I didn't have the time to go to locals or things like that. That helped me a bit.
Nice. That's great feedback.
Hector, you didn't give him the real sauce though. You
What's the
didn't
real-
tell him about the My Hero sleeve, bro.
Oh no, bro, that's under Metafy content. That's
Yeah, bro, you're keeping that under lock and key, bro. Like,
here. Look, if anybody wants to buy some of these are the new sauce, bro, right here.
bro, if you're not playing those this weekend, bro, I don't
they're
want
still selling them at the street.
These are the sauce.
Bro, you
Cards
lose
in hand.
this weekend, bro.
You get a 50% discount if you play them against Hector.
You start at 5 lower if you use these against me in tournament.
Oh, bro, give me those all day, bro.
All
I'll
day.
take them. I'll take 20.
Start at
I wanna
5.
I wanna give a shout out to my boy Dreams. He's not making it this weekend. That means I'm keeping my mat. My mat is safe. So thank God. Thank you for not showing up. We'll see you in Jafar.
Oh, I think M. Mill said he's taking your man now, so you got
Yeah, I mean,
you
at
got
this
the
point,
target, bro.
yeah, man. He took my weakness. He took me at my weakest point this tournament and it just trashed me. I'll get him back. I'll get him back.
Nice. I love it. My favorite is the banter before a big event. Everyone's so confident. And then my favorite is the follow-up is the X2 Twitter post. You know, today wasn't the day. every
Bro, no, the
we,
best
we,
is
we
when-
write we write out for the next event.
Oh no, the best is when everyone was they talk so much, and then they go, oh, they pulled their one outer, they just had the out. They just had every out every time. I'm just running bad today. Every single tournament, bro. Every time it's like clockwork.
Yeah, bro.
Mhm.
Yeah, bro. They had every answer, bro.
Every
You wheeled me 3 times.
out on, bro.
Rest in peace. If anyone is in the South Florida area and has ever visited Unfun Stuff over in Pembroke Pines while they were open, they had the excuse wall, and it had
that's dope.
everything that you all just said, like, oh, like they drew the nuts, or like
I like that idea. We could get
That's
stickers in the wall, and whenever you lose, you could go up and just pick a sticker you like and wear it on your shirt. That would be. I like that.
Yeah, the
Oh,
X2
gosh.
drop sticker, bro.
nice. Now we're cooking. We're cooking.
Yo, that's crazy.
But yeah, no, awesome. And then yeah, so I think that pretty much like we asked everybody kind of how they prepare. I'll give a little bit of insight to me. I like looking at ink decks, right? I am a filthy net decker, 100%. And it's a comfort that I'm trying to break right now. Because I think the missing piece that I have to excelling my gameplay is being able to take something that does well and adjust it for my local meta, right? So, I can thank Kylie, who's helped me break the mold a little bit. We've made some changes to my current deck that I'm really comfortable with, and it just feels nice to know that it literally can take just a handful of cards to change an entire play style, but that fits the comfort. So I'm looking forward to really diving in a little bit more into deck building and making that part of one of my goals for competitive Lorcana, at least maybe for season 2 when the DLC rolls around.
I mean, that's actually something that everybody should do. Maybe not net deck, but like Zach mentioned, usually before a big tournament, ink decks would be just a great resource. Just because, like you mentioned, Zan won with Jafar, right? So you look at the big tournaments through the weekend, and you start seeing like a trend, right? When a deck starts taking over or wins, and a bunch of people net deck it, right? And then they start using it, so you know what to expect, right? Like you'll start seeing, for example, like you mentioned, Blurple, right? Somebody won with Blurple, and out of nowhere start topping events, which means it's becoming more popular. So you got to respect those type of decks when it comes to one of these big tournaments, right? Like for this weekend, Jafar won, right? So you can expect some people playing Jafar. Blurple, 100%. Some people are going to play it. Red Purple has been doing well. So just looking at the trends in these big tournaments could help you be a little more prepared for these events, right? Instead of going in blind and not knowing.
You do bring up a good point, and I think one of the things that is important to point out is that sometimes the caliber of player really matters too. So like, being able to take a deck like Jafar Wheel obviously takes a lot of calculation to determine, am I willing to experiment a hypothesis that I put together either by myself or with a team, or have play tested and feel like this is the right deck to exploit. it's just one of those things that like I think what's going to happen is that a couple of people are going to attempt to bring Jafar Wheel to the event this weekend, right? And then they might not do as well, and then they're going to wonder why. What happened? This deck
put
won
the
last week. Why didn't I win? And I think it's important to realize again, like I know Kylie just mentioned, like Zan, and I think it's the caliber of player truly matters because, they have gone through the motions of the deck, and like while the deck has the thing that it's supposed to do, which is just literally turn Jafar sideways, draw a bunch of cards, like I'm sure there's ways that he found out what happens when I don't do the perfect curve. Like how do I get to my end game if I fumble, or if I get early removal against my Jafar, my base glimmers Jafars where I can't shift. Like how do I get my Floodborn Jafar exerted before getting removed by a Zeus, right? So like I feel like not a lot of people are like, oh, I'll just sleeve up these 60 cards, bring it, and I will do equally well, and then kind of get the Pikachu face when they don't.
That's
Oh, yeah.
that also
Absolutely.
ties in a good testing team, right? Like, just Zan's a great player, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of like secret testing teams where they have their specific players who they just practice back and forth with. Maybe they don't even go to locals, right? You go and you play at somebody's house and you just play with good caliber players, so you could actually get good testing and good feedback on these decks. That could also be a good resource if you have a good set of players that you practice with constantly. That could give you a little bit of help with your deck, or like on your deck choices and things like that. That definitely increases your gameplay compared as to just using locals as your testing ground.
Yeah, that's very true. Because it like getting your input or feedback at a regional level, it's the same reason why a lot of people at locals just continue to bring aggro, right? For example, because they're like, oh, if Hector's coming, we got to get under the shark, right?
Yeah.
And like because of how well he's performed locally, like that's just kind of been the move. But like, what if those same people went to Central Florida, right, or Atlanta, right? They're completely different metas. So it's just it's interesting how there's a lot of factors that are involved. Like should you bring the same 60 cards in Jafar Wheel at the Merlin? Maybe not. But if you're really interested in playing that deck, consider who might be coming, what they might be playing, and then make your adjustments based off of that.
Yeah, and a lot of props to Zan. Like, he keeps making and picking up these decks that everybody scrambles to copy, and then he just kind of goes to the next thing, right? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Zan shows up with like puppies, and he just wins with puppies. Like, Zan's like, here you go, here's puppies. I broke puppies.
Yeah, and that would be wild to say the least. But yeah, so we're leading towards the end of our show right now, so I did want to kind of recap a little bit and mention again, this show is sponsored by Southside Gaming, the premier place to play card games in South Florida. Whether you're here for our big premier events such as the Merlin 10K or for locals, we have a really great environment, great place to shop, great place to hang out, whether it's Disney Lorcana, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, One Piece, or any other game. If anybody's interested in the upcoming Riftbound, right? We'll definitely be playing Riftbound as well. But any game in the area, we're happy to host locals and happy to have a good time. So whether you're close to us, and if you're not close to us, feel free to check us out on our socials where we post great content. We do have Whatnot as well too. So if you're interested in Whatnot, we sell through Whatnot. And yeah, I'll show one more time. We have our sign up links for the Merlin. The QR code in the top left-hand side should get you directly to Melee where you can sign up. Just as a reminder, we have waived the late entry fee, so it's still $60, and we're going to keep it that way till the day of the event, just to make sure that we have as many people who want to come without any type of barrier of entry. So with that being said, we'll do some quick sign-offs. Zach, you do anything fun before you head down to the Merlin this weekend?
Nah, that is the fun, man. That's the fun.
right.
Just working away, trying to get all that squared away before we get down there.
Sweet, awesome. We definitely can't wait to see you down here. How about you, Hector? What any plans before the Merlin?
Spending time with my daughter, wife, because you know how it is. Some of these tournaments, when we're away from family, they take a long, all day. So being away from them, so we got to make up for that lost time.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, I want to add to what you actually said about the sponsorship about SSG. That you mentioned that everybody should come, for these tournaments. Even if you don't want to play at these tournaments or anything like, pass by. We have a lot of good players for every single game. If you want to learn, if you want to get strategies, if you want to practice with some of our players, if you want to get feedback for your decks and things like that, we're available for that too. All right. We're not here just to play these tournaments. And if you feel like you're overwhelmed because it's too competitive or anything like that, come by, hang out. We can watch players play. We can help you with your decks, and we can still have a good time and, have a casual night just hanging out with everybody. Come meet us, and we're all very friendly. So that's something that I think is important that everybody should know. And it's for every game, right?
Yeah. You mentioned that. I did that last week during locals. We finished our match pretty early, and I said, hey, are you interested in playing a game open-handed, just so you can kind of see? I tried to express, because it was a difficult matchup for him. I was favorable into him, but I showed him, like, this is how I mole and this is what I'm looking for. So again, trying to show him those points to exploit. And he kind of saw how it happened first. Like, he had the entire game, right? I played blind, right? I saw his hand, but I was like, I have to, at this point, I'm going to assume you have the Ursula. So, like, I'm going to try to get rid of my songs, or, I don't think you're going to have the removal for a stinger. So I'm going to play at this point. And it literally turned into, I needed to, what was it? I needed to draw removal, and I was able to top deck a whole new world, sing it, draw into a ton of removal, and I showed him, like, it literally, I either had to have the removal or not. So it's like, you could, like, you curved out perfectly, and, like, that was the point I needed to have that card. So, like, he didn't feel so bad, because he was like, you always have it, and I'm like, I know, but let me show you how it happens, versus, like, you thinking, like, it's a you thing. Because and then again, I told him, like, you played beautifully, like, you played that hand the way that you, or that game the way you needed to play it. And just, unfortunately, the matchup's very unfavorable. But
open hand testing, playing games, it helps a lot of players, right? Sometimes people do certain lines of play that you wouldn't think of, or just getting somebody else's opinion on a specific few turns could actually just open up your mindset towards many games. So it's really good to do.
For sure.
Yeah, that's what I did yesterday with the guy I was trying to play. Like, he started with a starter deck into, like, all I had was my normal deck. So obviously that wasn't the most fair matchup. But then we gave him purple steel, like, legitimately, and, like, had one of our guys work at the store kind of help him go through it, and, like, he beat me. He beat me 2 games. Like, he was able to cobble it together. He played like 3 Merlin goats. He was bouncing those bad boys like crazy, and he started to get it. He's like, oh, I see what this deck does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I wanted to highlight this message from Ray. Ray, my daisies only affect you. No one else. It's just
Ray.
you.
That's
Ray. Stefan doesn't see Daisy any game against me, bro. I don't even think the card's in his deck half the time. I just see Cinderella and Naveen. I'm like, all right, Naveen.
Okay, we can talk about Naveen another time. Otherwise, I'll add another hour to this conversation. But I am a Naveener for life. All right. What about you, Kylie? What are you doing to prepare for the 10K? Remember, you're Zach. I'm gonna pretend like I didn't see that. You're preparing a multitude of ways, right? You're getting the store ready. Shout out to Kylie, by the way. Like, let me tell you something. Kylie, like, he does the equivalent of nesting before these events, right? So the store is in immaculate condition prior. right? He'll stay at the shop to make sure it is, again, the cleanest. The tables are ready, the table tents, like it just he's very, very particular about how these events are run, and really, really huge support when it comes to these. So I definitely want to shout out to Kylie for that.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I do spend more of the week preparing for the tournament itself, making sure we have the prizing, making sure we have, whatever we're giving out, making sure we have all the right things, making sure we're stocked up on everything, making sure the sponsored players have what they need. I really actually do spend the week leading up to it more prepping the store than I prep myself. Like last week was kind of my like play testing prep week. Like I'll play a little bit this week, right? Just to stay fresh, like probably Friday jam some games, but most of my week is definitely like just making sure the store is ready for everybody so everybody can come in there and just have a great time. And this weekend's actually going to be a little interesting because we're kind of split up a little bit. Shout out to Miami TCG Con. Eric over there, great guy. He loves Lorcana. Really, really wants the game to thrive. I believe he has like 65 artists that he collaborates with, that he like rotates in and out of events. Great guy. But so we actually have a booth there this weekend as well as our 2-day tournament. So little staff split there, but we've done it before, and definitely every time the events just get a little bit better, and everybody that comes out this weekend is gonna have a great time. And I think the highlight of the weekend is gonna be who can take the bounty mats from people. I think that's really gonna be like the goal. I think like that's gonna be, ooh, I got Hector's bounty mat, or oh man, nobody could take Bivens bounty mat. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, oh, I got Kylie's bounty mat round 1. He sucks. You know what I mean? Like I think that's gonna be like the highlight.
I think it's gonna be a great time. What about you, Devin? How are you preparing for the 10K?
I'm actually going to play in it, and I'm going to just play the deck I'm most comfortable with. And I'm just going to get a lot of sleep, relax, and just let Kylie do his thing to set up the store. No, but I'm definitely going to sit there, and I have to make sure that everything's running appropriately. All the staff is all hands on deck. Check in with everyone, make sure everything's good. But I'm excited. I'm actually excited for this event because I missed the last several events. And this time I'm actually going to be here. I made it known I'm going to be here for this event, so I'm excited.
Celebrity status this time. And Devin, what deck are you most comfortable on now?
You already know Blurple, baby. Blurple game.
That's what I was
right.
All right, so you heard it here. Devin's playing Blurple. If you see him on anything else, it was a last minute switch.
There's no last minute
or a
switch.
swapper.
I'm playing Blurple. I'm playing my list, and I'm excited. Can't wait.
All right, let me add on to this. So, Kylie, who do you think's gonna lose the mat first? And Stefan, I want your pick too. This is recorded, right? So we need to save some evidence. So go ahead, tell me who you guys think is gonna lose it first.
We're gonna lose it first. It's hard to say. All right, Jack, don't hate me here, but
Crazy.
I think
It's not a Chernadog believer.
Yeah, I think
You still playing that?
That's why I think in this world, I think
He invented that, Devin.
I think Trinidad has seen the light. Unfortunately, I think Trinidad has seen the light. Obviously, it's really hard to say, right? Like I could give it up, Hector could give it up, even Bivens could just have a bad game. But like if you're really asking me like what, because I know what everybody's playing except for Bivens. If you're really asking me like what deck,
No, they didn't.
all right,
Listen, stop giving me the runaround and just give it to me straight. Who's losing it? And Stefan who's losing it. And I want to say somebody in the chat said that I'm gonna lose it first. Let me tell you, if I get past round 2 with this mat, it's over for everybody. Round 2, I lose every single round 2 of these tournaments. So the moment I don't know what to do with myself once I get past round 2. If that happens, this mat is coming home with me.
We just got to make sure you don't get paired into Beefy Baby.
oh yeah,
Beefy Baby,
Beefy
yeah.
Baby will take
Oh,
you
they're
out.
gonna be here this
Beefy
weekend.
Baby.
They're gonna be here.
She made Hector sweat as soon as round 1.
Yeah.
Beefcake, I took him out in the day too, so he might come for me hard now. I didn't know he was coming. I'm a little scared now. I might be the first one to give it up. So I think it really depends who the first round opponent is. If I get paired into like Zan round 1, and he's playing puppies, and I just don't have any idea what's going on, boom, I'm done. I'm done.
All right.
What do you think, Stefan? Tell me. Tell me.
My pick,
Everybody's gonna be honest here.
if I'm being honest, this is tough. Do I want to keep my job?
Damn.
Ooh. Ooh.
Do I want to play favorites? No. In all honesty, I think the matchup, it's super matchup dependent, right? Like you can, I think the deck that is probably the most exploitable right now, is oh god, I don't know where I was going with it.
Bro, you're scared to call somebody out, bro. What's up, bro? Just
No,
say
it's not
who
about
you
being
think.
scared to call somebody out. I'm just trying to play the odds at this point because like I'm just gonna put it this way: like we're all really good players, right? And I feel like the only thing that would get you to get 2-0'd is either a really bad misplay or a really bad matchup. I don't think it has to do with like any other factor. So I'm just thinking like, let's say Hector gets paired into like hyper aggro, like like that. I'm sorry, like Hector had like we'll go based off of one matchup we had, right, where like I literally had like the perfect curve, and then we went to game 2 like within 7 minutes, right? Like that can happen. That can happen twice, right? So I think red blue might be pretty easy to get under. So could be you, Hector.
He's saying Hector, bro. Hector's the first
Hey,
one.
Can we actually talk about the alpha in the room, bro? If y'all let anyone fly in 2-0 you guys from anywhere else, ooh, I'm gonna be upset. If you let someone come into our shop, our home, after we have to hold Hector, can you just stop being humble? Can we let it known that we're holding the trophy, the belt? No one's coming in here and taking the belt away from you, right?
Well, I'm glad that you're saying this because a lot of people the funny thing is that on this chat here, people will call me out. I 2-0'd him. It happened last event, but let me tell you, even after last event, I still have left 2-0s than everybody else. So
Yeah, it's because you know why?
you could call me out everybody could call me out all they want. They're still gonna catch hands whether they like it or not. So,
You can still lose the bounty mat and win the entire tournament. Right?
Hector,
a loss.
you let everyone know
that's a loss.
they're talking smack that you let everyone know that you can't play red blue without let it goes. I'm not let it goes. I'm sorry, without B preps. Let them know. Let them know you're defending, bro.
I don't know.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Yeah, don't lie to the people.
No, hey, B prep is spiked in price because of you. All right.
All right, Devin. So Devin and Stefan, you guys have to say who you think's giving up first.
Yeah, don't give us the runaround or statistics or the match dependent or the BS. Just tell us who you want and that's it.
Yeah, too much thinking. Just say.
Right?
Yeah,
Thank you.
Just say it.
Too much like.
All right, I think it's Kylie. For me.
Oh,
All right, I could be Bucky. I said Bucky fast, bro. I said Diablo might fail me this weekend, bro. I might not shift that bad boy one time, bro, and I might run into every shadow finder and turn 1 singer, 3-class singer. They just kills the boy. So yeah, it can happen.
No, I think you know who I think is gonna get 2-0 first. My boy Mitch, bro. Shout out to Mitch. He's gonna get 2-0 first.
The betrayal at the end, bro. I was basically holding on to that rock.
It was a hard pick. It was a really hard pick. I tried to pick Hector first, but he bullied me.
No. You can pick me. That's good. I live under this pressure. I've given away cases.
Yeah, he
Right?
is.
Yeah, he's proud of it too. That's the worst part.
Not proud of it, but I mean, I play with a stress level higher than all of you, so I'm fine. I'm fine with it.
All right, so Hector, now your turn. Who's getting 2-0 first? Who's giving up the first bounty mat?
Stefan, 100%.
Joke's on you. I don't get a bounty mat.
It don't matter. You're giving it
I already
away.
lost it. I didn't even get it. So
Okay,
you're
hold
right.
up. because Devin said Mitch. So Mitch is getting a bounty, Matt. Like, what's going on here?
No. Mitch not getting
No.
What's going on here?
No.
Yeah, Devin's
so
scared to
recap,
fix
Hey,
it.
I said who's going to get 2-0 first. I didn't say who's giving away the bounty match.
to recap, we have 6 mats, right? And the 6 bounty mats, and they will be going to Zach, Hector, Kylie, Devin, Ray, and Jack. So those are your picks.
No team kills. So if we run
No,
into
no,
each
no.
other-
There is team kills.
Yeah, there is
That-
team kills, bro.
there
So
is
what-
team kills.
Zach said he's stacking mats.
So wait, so Zach, if you 2-0 me first round, I give you my mat,
Yep.
and so if you get 2-0'd, you give up one, but you still have one. Is that how we're
Yep.
gonna do it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is.
All
That's
right.
how it works. You
All right,
collect
all right, why
badges like
not? Why
Pokemon.
not? All right, so Bivens gonna win the whole tournament and have 5 bounty mats.
It has to be 2-0, right?
It has to be 2-0. It has to be a clean 2-0.
All right.
2-0 has to
the
be.
clean slate. So Devin, now who do you think is getting 2-0?
Who do I think is getting
Who do
2-0?
you think getting
Hmm.
it? For the bounty mat. For the bounty mat. Everybody's trying to dodge this question, bro. I'm the jerk that said Jack. Everybody else is scared, bro.
Who do I think they get 2-0 first? Damn, I don't know. If I have to go based off of just like not
It's really the
performing,
deck. It's just like the decks. That's really what you're hedging your bet on, honestly. It's like everybody's deck except we don't know Bivens. Yeah, 100%. We don't want to announce that
You
here.
don't know my deck.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Bro, you're crazy. Bro. If you don't come in with a Maui,
Nah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I lost faith in the Trinidad deck, bro. I really did. I think he needs to go back on the Blurple gang. In my
I think that deck, if you don't win
Mm.
fast, you lose fast.
yeah,
But that's
Okay.
any aggro deck if you think about it, really.
bro, I like this. I like me personally. I like decks that sure you want a high win rate. I definitely want a deck that's high win rate, but I also like the skill set, right? I want to see a skill. I'm not saying that deck's not skillful. I just don't like those little aggro decks. It's like Magic and White Weenie. I can't stand that.
white, bro. Mono white humans. All
Auto red, bro. Oh my god.
right, so we can ask Zach. So we'll give Zach the info. So Hector's gonna play red blue.
No,
I'm
I'm
gonna
not.
play.
Don't say
I'm gonna
this
play
live.
green. I'm gonna play green steel.
That's so rude, Hector. Right?
Evan's gonna play Blurple. Jack's probably gonna play Churnadog, and Ray's gonna play red purple. So out of those
Mhm.
decks, what deck do you think's taking the 2-0 loss first?
Okay, so I have a question, Kylie. I think I heard that you played Bucky, like 3-cost Bucky in the last
was,
tournament. Is
that
that
was-
true?
that was a 61 card one up to try to bring my goat back, bro, for the theming of the Cusco event.
Hey,
That is not gonna get re-ran.
no, that's good enough for me. That's good enough for me, Kylie.
All right,
Susan
bro.
is
all
mad.
right. So I got 2 votes against me here. So now I have to top 8 to like prove it all here, bro. Now I gotta lock in. I can't troll with the Bucky, bro, with the 3 card,
Keep the Bucky in the binder, buddy.
Binder the Bucky.
bro. The goat. Listen, bro. That goat lives on, bro. I'll show you guys, bro. Shout out to
Binder the
Greg, bro.
Bucky.
The goat lives on, bro.
Oh, nice,
Goat
Matt.
lives on.
Nah, everybody's
Binder the
forgotten him.
Bucky.
He's forgotten.
Oh, wow. Quick interrupt. It looks like we're getting rated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Wait,
wow.
we're testing or
I'm
something?
guessing the ICO might have just finished.
You the raid boss.
Welcome, everyone. Hope the ICO
How
was
about this?
great. What
Let's
team
forget-
won?
How about this? Since we're getting raided, let's go. Why don't you do a little stream a live match right now?
Stream a live match. I'm not even ready. I don't have a
You don't need to. You could stream it.
I can't. I don't have my stuff ready. I
No,
barely
you
have.
don't, need, you don't need live cards. You can stream it on one of the platforms.
Oh no, I think the only one you could do it is on Inktable, and nobody wants to watch me play against AI right now.
All right.
20 Lore Pro one. Oh, congratulations. Who were the players today?
I think they picked up Zan recently, so maybe
Oh.
Zan.
Well,
Let's
they're
see.
in a league, right?
Yeah, the online link. Oh, actually, this is a great segue.
My
By the
team
way,
is
I forgot, and this is probably news to everybody here, not only in chat, but also on this podcast as well. The SSG team is now part of the ICO. And we will be joining as part of season 2. I think there's an exhibition match that we already have scheduled. So Hector, you're gonna have to pick some
Yeah.
people to participate.
I've been slacking on that. Not gonna lie, just been super busy work and stuff.
See,
but
Luke,
we're
Luke,
gonna
I
put it
told you.
together.
I told you, Luke. You heard it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, man, it's been crazy. This last week, I found out I'm having another daughter, so it's been
Congratulations.
crazy everywhere. So I haven't put my mind to that. So, but I'm definitely going to this week, and we're gonna figure that out.
That's
Thank you.
awesome.
So-
Awesome.
All right, now the person I pick will be myself to lose the mat if it's before round 2. If I get past round 2, it's over
GG.
for you guys. It's over.
Okay, who's your pick
After
after round 2 though?
All right. Let's see. Well, we don't know what you're playing. Damn.
I don't know what I'm playing. So.
After round 2, I mean, maybe I'll throw Devin under the bus.
You're so flawed, bro.
Oh, hey, Brandon, how's it going?
I'm not a purple believer, so I can get
Yes.
behind that.
I'm trying to be
Purple.
I'm trying to be. It's all right. I'm the Gotten holder, bro. I'm Thanos. That's all I care about. Really,
He did 2-0 me with his purple. last time
that
we
first
played.
weekend, bro. Psh, I got the shiny little thing. I can't wait till he comes out this weekend too.
Yeah.
He's alive. You sure are, Brandon.
I'm glad you're alive, the Candio.
May 9th. Oh, crap. That's next
Oh,
week.
yeah, that's coming up.
That is next
The
week.
flower farm.
All right, we're gonna have a little team meeting this week, and then we'll figure out a team to a 3-man. But I'm excited to start playing in these. For those that don't know, I am not very tech savvy, so I'm in the world of computers now, so I could actually start playing online. But I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Nice, yeah, and I'm definitely happy to help set you guys up too. So whatever your threes, the 3 that you're sending, we'll make sure to get them set up. And if they're not, we'll probably do something from the store too. I think we have a lot of options. So happy to have the SSG team finally participate in the ICL. I know that was a kind of a long thing in the works, and happy to get them set up for season 2.
Yep, sounds good.
Awesome.
I do want to mention I'm on a team for this season, and we're undefeated
Yeah?
so far.
What team is that?
so It's pretty good.
The
We're the Villain Club.
It's hot.
Oh, looks like you're gonna be playing.
So we have Lorcana Villain. Yeah, we got Lorcana Villain. We got me. We got Wochuck. We got Sky, the Blue Steel player. And Villainous Dick Burns. We stole his alter ego from Forbidden.
Oh,
West.
that's
Shout out to
that's Dick Burns, right?
bro. That's that guy. Love that guy.
Yep.
That's that boy.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Shout out to Dick Burns.
Mhm.
No, we're gonna
And
have
I
to
Dick
put you
Burns,
on the
the
roster.
whole, the Forbidden Mountain team. They're pretty awesome. Dan, Melissa. I love when we keep in touch, and also when they come down. It's such a great time, and I'm definitely looking forward to having the Forbidden Mountain come down.
Yeah.
At our next event, whatever, whether it's the Rage of Far event or any other events coming in the future, it's always a pleasure to have them come through.
It's actually even fun when we travel and we see them too, or even every other team that's out there. Everyone's been so cool. It's always fun. It makes it seem like when we travel and you go to some of these events, like last time when we went to Charlie's and we saw everybody there. It felt like, I'm not gonna lie, it felt like seeing people from our hometown. It was cool. You just pick up right where you left off, and warm welcomes, and it's cool. It's a cool experience.
You got in, Devin. What was the first DLC you went to?
The one I've once and only I've ever been to was
it Nationals?
Yeah, when we vended Nats.
Oh, okay. So it's funny that you mentioned that, because a lot of what people have been desiring from the DLCs, and I think besides the competition or like the main event,
Mhm.
is what you shared, is like seeing your friends again in the same capacity, different city, doing everyone sharing the same interest. And I think that's a lot of what people really miss from those. So being able to experience that maybe not at the same level, but close
Mhm.
enough when, like our events or CCS, or even the upcoming PPG events in Texas, like those those are events, regardless whether it's Lorcana or any other game for that matter. I think that's like a lot of what people are looking to experience is just like that togetherness and being able to hang out with people that share the same interest.
And I'm glad you brought up like a DLC, right? So like the one thing I could take away from being at Nats, well, first and foremost, I think that outside of some of the delayed and some of the events that were being the side events, where forget about that aspect for a second. The whole venue itself, I know is Disney property, but it was beautiful, right? It was beautiful. However, when we say oh, we're going to like a DLC and it just felt like that, the one cool thing that going to these other events, it's more intimate, right? So like going to a DLC, it's like there's a lot going on. Matter of fact, some may say it's overwhelming, and you can't really like, there's 1 second there's this event I'm signing up for, another event. Oh, let me go buy some cards. Oh, let me go over here, and you have to walk from up down. At least when it comes to like one of our events or something like CCS, it's more intimate, and you have the ability to where time isn't going as fast. Does that make sense?
For sure, yeah. And I mean, like, I think that's kind of like whether I've had a good run or a bad run at a DLC. I think one of my favorite things has just been the memories created along the way.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the experience I got at DLC Vegas where, my team and friends were able to pull together tickets to help me land the rest of the Cinderella mat. And I was desperate. Like I went into, like I scrubbed out pretty hard in the main event, and then I went to go do like the 3-rounder events, and I just lost like 3 in a row the first round. And it felt so bad. And I was definitely getting in my head at that time, like, I'm never going to get this mat. And like, we all came together and we did it. And it was like, I'm not gonna lie. I teared up. Like it was a great feeling.
Oh, that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned in the chat, the memories that you make with your friends, the vibes, all of that is just imagine you plan a trip, you're going with like 10 of your teammates or your friends, and then you're prepping for the event and the hype. And then once you're there, you're all doing things together. You check up on each other in between rounds. You cheer each other. It's just, we miss that. We miss that. And we need it back. We need it back, right? For us competitive players. But even if you're not competitive, like crazy competitive, you could go do side events, get cool prizes, cheer on for your friends. You pretty much go for your friends, right? Like the competition is a plus, but you're spending a weekend with your great friends and your teammates. And it feels really, really good.
Bro, all kidding aside, tell everybody, Hector, how many times do I say, yo, come to this event with us? It's a Yu-Gi-Oh event. It may not be Lorcana, but it's just because it's that concept, what you just said. Just want to go out and travel, explore the country with your people, and obviously compete, but there's nothing like it. We just came back from Vegas for the level up event. They had pretty much a tournament for everything, but our team went for Yu-Gi-Oh! And man, it was just so fun, especially being in Vegas. It was so cool.
Yeah, and then you meet great people that after a while you start seeing them again. Like you said, you start seeing them again at all these big events, and you run into each other. You just see each other so often that it just feels awesome, right? It's like there's no greater feeling.
For sure. Awesome. Well, with that, I think Kylie's having some technical difficulties, and it's probably a good time to finish that sign off I attempted to do about 30 minutes ago. So I wanted to thank all of you guys, all of our viewers for joining us. Zach, if you have a couple words you want to share with us before we take off for the night.
Hey, just appreciate everyone. Thanks, Wonderland, for the raid. That's pretty sweet. And for the ICL, all you do with that's pretty sweet. So appreciate you guys coming in to watch.
What about you, Hector?
Well, I hope Kylie didn't leave because he got mad that you guys voted for him.
That's probably what happened.
That's why he left, right?
Yeah, we voted him off the island.
He actually is. He texted me on the side. He goes, bro, I'm not doing next week.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, thanks everybody for coming in. This doesn't even feel like a podcast. It just feels like a bunch of friends just coming to hang out at night. Even though we live in different states and different parts of the city, just so it's nice to come hang out once a night. Talk Lorcana, talk whatever's on our mind. So appreciate anybody that tuned in. And actually, my wife looked at it for the first time today. I was excited.
Nice. Yeah, shout out to the wives and significant others that continue to support our hobby, and whether it's this podcast or playing the game and stuff like that. I know my wife is. She may not be watching right now, but I definitely, when I show her the VOD, want to, make sure that I mention that I appreciate that she helps out with the kids at bedtime while I get to do this. So that'll kind of be my part of the sign off. But Devin, any last words before we wrap up for the night?
Yeah, first and foremost, everyone here on the pod and in chat, I can't tell you how grateful I am that you guys are here watching, listening. So it's banter back and forth. Super, super grateful for you, Stefan, Hector, Bivens. I know we're just getting started with this pod and we're on number 4 right now, but it's going to eventually evolve. And everyone in the chat, if there's anything that you have suggestions with, we are open for criticism as well. And we want to be able to grow with you guys. So whatever you guys want to see next or moving forward, just let us know. And Kylie's back. Go Kylie. But
I hear him. I don't see him, but maybe he'll fix his camera before just in time to say bye.
And listen, for any of you who are not signed up for the event, do not miss it. I promise you, this is not the one you want to miss. Haven't been there for the last 2 events. I might do something crazy this event, but I'm not gonna do something crazy if y'all didn't sign up. So you guys got to sign up and attend.
Yeah. See you guys this weekend. Let's have some fun and hopefully win some great prizing from one of our players.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. We appreciate you stopping by. We look forward to meeting with you guys again on Wednesday. Time undetermined. We're going to try to nail down a more permanent time in the future. I think we just have a couple of last-minute kinks to work out, but expect us to talk about and recap on what is announced May 6th. So you definitely want to tune in for that. It'll be a great time. Awesome. Well, take care, everyone.